Hey there, it's Tony here, and welcome to episode 50 of the Dumb Leaders podcast. Today, the things not to do in a corporate box. Now, we share a lot of stories around dumb leaders. We've shared stories of what they've got up to at Christmas parties. But seriously, I couldn't resist not sharing this story. The antics of a dumb leader and the story of what not to do in a corporate box. Now, for those that don't know, a corporate box is one where there's hospitality thrown in. So there's free food, often free drinks, and can be the recipe for disaster. Now, we've shared lots of stories around dumb leaders at Christmas parties, and we never even thought of tapping into the world of the corporate box. But the world of the corporate box came to the world during the week. And let me just share this story. This dumb leader was a national radio sales executive. Now, I shouldn't say was, because I haven't heard that he isn't anymore. But so he is a national sales executive. Now, take that into context. A national. So we're talking Australia. So a national sales executive. Now, I'm going to read from an article that was published on Radio Today on July 16, 2019, just so that I'm referring and referencing the actual article. And the article can be found at radiotoday.com.au. And obviously just look for the dates. Just look for the dates of July 16. Southern Cross Austereo employee Matthew Cooper stripped naked and ran onto the field at Sunday's NRL. Now, the NRL is the National Rugby League game between the Parramatta Eels and the West Tigers. Now, News Corporation reports that Cooper was a guest of the NRL, given a free seat thanks to Southern Cross Austereo's broadcast rights deal with the competition. Now, in front of more than 24,000 fans, the Today FM and Triple M's national sales manager ran onto the field after hiding behind a TV Channel 9 cameraman. So police obviously attended the scene, and obviously Matthew Cooper streaked across the field. Police attended the scene and issued Cooper with a court attendance notice for willful and obscene exposure, as well as another charge under the Pitch Invasions Act. Now, the Southern Cross Austereo executive will face court next month and could face jail time as well as a fine of up to $12,000. It's a very expensive day at the football, no matter how many free drinks that you had. A very expensive day at the football. Cooper reportedly faced up to the Southern Cross Austereo's HR department on Monday, and no doubt with a very sore head. So the game was on Sunday, and come in and let's have a chat on to the HR department on Monday. Now, the Daily Telegraph was the first to reveal who the streaker was and his employer, Southern Cross Austereo. So I'm not saying anything that's not in the public knowledge. The radio broadcast rights holder for select fixtures confirmed to news.com.au it was their employee who had run nude onto the field and that he had been provided the ticket for use in a personal capacity. So let's look at this for what it's worth, right? A day at the footy, you're on the Terps, you've got like-minded individuals that potentially you're on the Terps with, and somehow this cascaded into this dumb leader deciding that it was a really good idea to rip his gear off, show everyone his manhood. There are 24,000 people at the game, his manhood, and live with that for the remainder of his career. So, you know, many would probably ridicule him in relation to that, as they potentially will. But thinking about that from a national sales perspective, how damaging and how challenging would that be for your career from here on in? So let's be serious. If he somehow survives the HR investigation, how anyone can treat him with any level of integrity and trust is certainly beyond myself. Now, think of the ramifications of this one silly act. He maybe cops a fine of up to $12,000. And maybe in cases like this, you often hear about people being egged on by mates, or that they all chip in to pay the fine, and sort of under the context of no harm done. But maybe the cost of the fine might be covered by his mates, but the costs, no doubt, will continue to mount. So think about the role. It's a national sales manager dealing with major accounts, major clients, and he has to face them. He has to have a trusted relationship with them. Now, maybe in a month or two, people may forget, but the incident cannot be erased. So once you've done something to that level, it's there forever. People doing a subtle little search on the internet every now and again when you do see a streaker on the field, no doubt this particular incident will pop up time and time again. So the best course of action is, of course, don't do it. Always stay in control. And, if you do want to have some fun, make sure you've got some people around you that you trust, that will keep you safe and out of harm's way. But the best course of action now is obviously to own up to it, to face the music, be very vulnerable in terms of your clients, and apologise unreservedly. And then just continue to deliver the goods in whatever it is that you do. So in this case, the goods is delivering trusted sales and advertising solutions. So continue to deliver to an exceptional standard. And maybe in time people may forget, and that's probably the best course of action. So things not to do in the corporate box: rip your gear off and streak on the field, number one. Now, if you have any others, please share. Please check it out. Head over to dumbleaders.com and share some of your horror stories of things that have happened in a corporate box with managers and leaders. I want to hear about them. And if you're comfortable, we'll certainly share them with our listening audience. Let's highlight those behaviours, the behaviours not to do, if you really want to become a better leader. Now, thank you for listening. Head over to dumbleaders.com for your stories and your feedback. Remember, don't be a dumb leader. Learn the lessons from lousy leaders, and we've certainly got the library for that. I'll see you next week.